Hi weaving friends, I have been thinking about all of you, and the reason is that I did a poll. In fact, I did two polls. One yesterday and one the day before on YouTube. The first poll, the question was, do you sew with your hand woven fabric? And then I had some multi-choice options, and the option that got the most votes was I don't, but I want to. So then that got me thinking, okay, so if so many, like the overwhelming majority of you want to sew with your hand woven fabric, but you're not doing it at the moment, then I wanted to know why. Like what's the stumbling block? Because I'm like a huge advocate for, if you want to do something and that something is a good thing, then you should do that. And you should take the steps that lead you in that direction. You know, you should do that if it's something you really want to do. And so I asked in the next poll, okay, why are you guys not doing this? And I was really surprised by the answer actually. The multi-choice options were something like, I don't have the equipment. I actually thought that one would be the winner. I don't want to learn the new skills. I thought that'd be a runner-up. I don't have time. That was a true contender. And then the last one that I put in almost as an afterthought was, I'm afraid to cut the fabric. And guess what the majority of you chose? I'm afraid to cut the fabric. I was like, are you serious? This is the stumbling block as to why you're not sewing with your fabric, because you don't want to cut it? Okay. So once I got over my amazement and dismay, I started thinking, how can I help you all to move past that stumbling block and to not see it as a stumbling block anymore? And I've actually thought about it like almost all afternoon as I've been in my studio, and now I'm out catching some beautiful rays. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give you maybe a little bit of an unconventional piece of advice about what you should do. I'm not going to tell you to watch my videos or check out my resources on cutting your hand woven fabric, although I am going to leave you the links down below just in case you haven't seen those before. But I was thinking, well, you know, surely if that was a stumbling block, you would have seen my videos on cutting your cloth and seen my other resources, and that would have helped you. But maybe that's not the case. But maybe you just haven't seen them yet and you needed that direction. But no, that's not my main piece of advice. My main piece of advice, after thinking about it and thinking, why do I have no qualms whatsoever about cutting my hand woven fabric? It's because I've woven so much of it. So my advice to you is, you need to weave more. You need to weave more fabric. You need to weave so much that you become really comfortable with it and that you have a lot of it, and so you're not afraid of cutting it or experimenting with it or playing around with it. So I was thinking of an analogy. It's a little bit like a new relationship, right? When you are in a brand new relationship, it's all amazing. It's all very fresh and very special, and all you really want to do is be with that person, and when you're not with that person, you're thinking about that person, and they're just amazing. It's so special. And then as you progress through the relationship, you go through different levels of becoming comfortable within the relationship. So if you're like me, and I'm coming up to 25 years in my marriage, and I've been with my husband for 30 years, we are in that very comfortable range now. We love each other very much. We think each other is very special, but it's okay. We don't have to be together all the time. We don't have to be clinging to each other. I don't need to know where he is every second of the day. I don't need to know whether he's thinking about me every second of the day. You catch my drift. So with the fabric, the hand woven fabric, we all know that hand woven fabric is special. We all know that it takes time to warp the looms. It takes time to weave that fabric. It's a time investment, and it's also a monetary investment because we have to buy the yarn, the threads to weave the fabric. We need to buy the equipment, all of that. We know it's special. We don't even need to say it. We just know it. But the more you weave fabric, and this is from someone who's woven fabric for a good chunk of time now, the more you weave it, it's not that the novelty has worn off, but it's just like, I'm comfortable with this now. I can work with this fabric. I'm not afraid to cut it because I'm confident that everything will work out. And if it doesn't work out quite as I had planned, then I'll make something else out of it and it'll be okay. I've got lots of fabric. I can always weave more fabric, and I'm happy to do that. So what do you think? Is that a starting point? Maybe for some of you. I do want to do some more videos around sewing. I'm not sure how that would look exactly. Maybe just to help you out, give you some more ideas about how you can move more into sewing, what you're going to need, the kind of things that you could possibly make, and just have a few more discussions and conversations about sewing, because I think it's something that we're not talking about enough in the weaving world, that a lot of people want to sew with their hand woven fabric as well. And that's a stumbling block, a real stumbling block for a lot of people. And I don't want it to be, because the world of sewing with your hand woven fabric, it opens up so much to what you can do with your weaving. And it can really send you on this amazing new journey with your loom as well, because once you know how to sew, and you can start with the very basics, you'll feel re-energized and re-excited about what you can do with your loom. Now, I said I've been weaving and sewing for a long time. I'm not an amazing sewist. I'm passable. I'm okay at it, but I'm not great. But I still feel excited all the time because there are so many things that I still want to sew with my hand woven fabric that I haven't gotten around to doing yet. And yet I know that that's all there waiting for me. And as if weaving your own fabric from scratch is not amazing enough, you can also make this entire range of new objects from that fabric that you weave. And that is something worth talking about and investigating and pursuing. Okay, so that's my pep talk done. If you have anything that you would like to know specifically about sewing, more things that would help you, things I could make videos about, let me know in the comments below. And maybe together we can really get something started with this weaving plus sewing thing. Until next time, happy weaving and sewing.